Welcome to a journey into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy that can transform how we handle life's challenges. In today's fast-paced world, where stress and anxiety seem to be constant companions, the teachings of Stoicism offer a beacon of calm and clarity. Every day, we face moments that test our patience, traffic jams when we're already running late, coworkers who seem determined to push our buttons, technology that fails us at the worst possible moment. These little battles shape our days and ultimately our lives. But what if we could change how we respond to these moments? That's where Stoicism comes in. This powerful philosophy, developed over 2,000 years ago, gives us tools to turn daily frustrations into opportunities for growth and inner peace. It's not about suppressing emotions or becoming cold and unfeeling. Rather, it's about understanding our emotions, choosing our responses wisely, and finding serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Stoicism has influenced great minds for centuries, from Roman emperors to modern CEOs. More importantly, you'll have practical strategies to start living a more resilient and fulfilling life right now. So, let's embark on this journey together. We'll explore how Stoicism's calm logic can help us control our reactions, cultivate serenity, and bring about profound personal transformation. Begin by choosing one area to focus on. Maybe it's pausing before reacting when you feel anger rising, or perhaps it's practicing acceptance of things outside your control. Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember that like any skill, mastering your emotions takes practice. As you incorporate these Stoic principles into your life, you may find that not only do you handle difficult situations better, but you also experience more joy and contentment in your daily life. You'll likely find yourself less rattled by life's ups and downs, more present in your relationships, and more aligned with your true values and goals. If you've found value in today's exploration of Stoic wisdom, I invite you to join our community of modern Stoics. We're a new channel, and your support means everything to us. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and help us reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers. Your support not only helps us grow, but also allows us to continue sharing these timeless insights with a wider audience. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest videos on Stoicism and practical philosophy. And if you know someone who could benefit from these ideas, share this video with them. Together, we can build a community of individuals striving for wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay stoic. Whether you're dealing with daily stress, big life changes, or just seeking a more balanced approach to life, there's something here for you. Understanding anger through Stoicism. Let's begin our exploration of Stoicism by tackling one of the most challenging emotions we face: anger. It's important to remember that everyone feels angry sometimes. It's part of being human. But here's where Stoicism steps in with its profound wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This is pivotal in transforming our relationship with anger. Think about it. When something goes wrong or someone frustrates us, our first instinct might be to react with anger. But what if instead we paused and considered this reaction? The Stoic philosophers, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, often discuss the concept of not being swayed by external events, but instead focusing on our internal responses. They believe that our emotions, including anger, come from our judgments about events, not the events themselves. So when we feel angry, it's often because we're placing a particular value or judgment on what's happened. This understanding opens up a powerful opportunity for us. Each time we feel anger rising, we can ask ourselves, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to view it? This is not about suppressing or denying your anger. It's about understanding it. By getting to the root of what triggers our anger, we can start to change our responses. For instance, if you get cut off in traffic and feel the anger bubbling up, recognize this as a chance to examine why you react this way. Is it really the action of the other driver, or is it your belief that your route should be obstacle-free? Moreover, acknowledging anger helps us to empathize with others who might also struggle with their emotions. This empathy can deepen our connections and improve our interactions. It's about compassion, both for ourselves and for others, as we navigate the complexities of human emotions. Practice this. The next time you feel anger rising, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself about this situation? This simple pause can be the first step in transforming your relationship with anger. The power of focusing on what we can control now. Let's delve into one of the most liberating principles of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control. This idea is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, and is incredibly powerful once you truly grasp it. Think about it. So much of our frustration and anger stems from situations or people we simply can't change, no matter how much we might want to. The Stoics, like the wise Marcus Aurelius, taught that the real power lies in recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we can't. You control your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. That's it. Everything else is more or less out of your hands, other people's actions, the weather, the past, and much of the future. But here's where it gets interesting. By focusing on our own reactions and attitudes, we reclaim a tremendous amount of power. Instead of wasting energy on the uncontrollable, we invest it in what we can actually influence. Let's make it practical. Say you're working on a group project and someone isn't pulling their weight. It's easy to get frustrated, right? You might even feel your temper rising. But ask yourself, what part of this situation can I actually control? You can't make your teammate work harder, but you can control how you respond to the challenge. Maybe it's a conversation about expectations, or perhaps it's reallocating work within the group. By shifting your focus like this, you not only reduce your own stress but also open up more constructive ways to address the problem. Another aspect of this Stoic principle is accepting that some things are just beyond our control. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding where our power truly lies. It's about not letting external events dictate your peace of mind. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and you're getting irritated because you're going to be late, pause and think, can I control the traffic? No. But what can I control? Your reaction? Maybe you turn on an audiobook or some calming music, or use the time to think through your day. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll find yourself less shaken by life's ups and downs because you know where your responsibilities lie and where they don't. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about channeling your energies more productively. Try this exercise. For the next week, whenever you feel stressed or frustrated, ask yourself, what aspect of this situation can I control? Focus your energy there, and notice how it changes your experience. If you're finding these Stoic principles helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It helps more people discover these life-changing ideas. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to join our growing community of modern Stoics. Now, let's continue our journey into Stoic wisdom. The role of mindfulness in Stoicism. As we continue our exploration of Stoicism, let's talk about a practice that beautifully complements Stoic principles: mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, aware of where we are and what we're doing, without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. This aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, which emphasize awareness of our thoughts and actions and maintaining control over our reactions to external circumstances. So why practice mindfulness? Because it helps us to pause between our experiences and our reactions to them. By becoming more mindful, we can choose responses that align with our values and goals instead of getting swept away by emotions. This is particularly useful when dealing with anger or frustration. For example, when someone says something that upsets you, instead of immediately reacting or snapping back, mindfulness allows you to take a step back. You notice your emotional surge but choose to observe it passively without acting on it immediately. This space that mindfulness creates is not just calming, it's empowering. It gives you the chance to choose a response that you won't regret later. Let's talk about how to incorporate mindfulness into daily life, because it sounds great in theory, but it's in the practice that the real magic happens. One simple technique is to focus on your breathing. When you find yourself feeling anxious or angry, take a moment to concentrate on deep, slow breaths. This focus pulls your mind away from the triggers of stress or anger and brings you back to what you can control, your breath. Another practical method is what I like to call mindful observation. Choose an ordinary task or moment, like drinking a cup of coffee. Focus all your senses on this experience. Notice the aroma, the heat of the cup in your hands, the taste. This practice of engaging fully with the present moment can transform an ordinary experience into a richer, more textured moment. What's fascinating about this is that it trains your brain to apply the same level of awareness to more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll be better equipped to handle it with the same focus and calm. Stoicism also teaches us about the impermanence of our experiences. Nothing lasts forever, not even our emotions. Mindfulness complements this by helping us to experience our feelings without judgment. Acknowledge that you're angry, recognize it, but also remind yourself that this anger is just a passing state. It's not who you are, and it doesn't control you unless you let it. Here's a simple mindfulness exercise to try. Set aside 5 minutes each day this week. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your attention back to your breathing. Notice how this small practice affects your daily life. Embracing impermanence now, let's explore another fundamental Stoic principle: Embracing impermanence, the idea that everything changes and nothing lasts forever, is a universal truth that can help us navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and less frustration. It's about understanding that our circumstances, emotions, and even our thoughts are constantly in flux, and learning to embrace this constant state of change rather than resisting it. Think about how often we get upset because things didn't go as planned. Maybe it was a job promotion that didn't come through, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or a sudden change in our health. Our first reaction might be to resist these changes, to get angry or sad. But Stoicism invites us to look at these situations differently, through the lens of impermanence. When we truly grasp that nothing is permanent, we start to realize that our anger or disappointment is also temporary. This doesn't diminish the importance of our feelings, but gives us a more balanced perspective on them. Embracing impermanence allows us to live more in the present and worry less about the past and the future. If you know that everything is temporary, you begin to appreciate your experiences and the people around you more deeply. You don't take things for granted because you're aware that circumstances can change at any moment. This awareness can be incredibly freeing. It reduces the sting of negative events and enhances the joy of positive ones. Now, how do we practice accepting impermanence in daily life? Start by reflecting on the transient nature of your surroundings and experiences. For example, watch how the seasons change, observe how your feelings shift throughout the day, or how your relationships evolve over time. These observations can be reminders that change is the only constant. Another way to integrate this into your life is by adjusting how you respond to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when something doesn't go your way, take a moment to acknowledge that this change is part of a bigger flow of life. It's an opportunity to adapt and grow. Think about a time when something didn't work out as you had hoped, and then something better came along. Often, it's only in hindsight that we see how these changes were beneficial. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to accept impermanence, it encourages us to find strength in it. Each change and ending is a chance to practice resilience and flexibility. By fostering this mindset, we not only cope with life's challenges more effectively, but also learn to move through them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what's next. Try this. The next time you face an unexpected change or disappointment, pause and say to yourself, "This too shall pass." Notice how this simple reminder affects your emotional response. Understanding the root of our emotions. As we delve deeper into Stoic philosophy, let's explore a crucial aspect of emotional mastery: understanding the root of our emotions. The Stoics believe that becoming aware of the root causes of our emotions could lead to greater self-mastery. When we understand our emotions, we are better equipped to respond to life's challenges in ways that are aligned with our values and goals, rather than simply reacting out of habit or impulse. Every emotion we experience, whether it's anger, joy, sadness, or fear, is triggered by our perception of the world around us. For example, if you feel angry when someone interrupts you while speaking, it's worth exploring why. Is it because you feel disrespected? Or perhaps it reflects a deeper insecurity about your voice being heard? By digging into these questions, you can begin to understand not just your reactions, but also the beliefs and values that underlie them. This understanding is crucial because it gives you the opportunity to change your perceptions and consequently the way you feel. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are predicated on our judgments. The good news is that judgments can be examined and changed. So when you feel a strong emotion, try to step back and ask yourself, what am I believing right now? Is this belief true? Is it helpful? This kind of questioning can be very powerful. It allows you to shift your perspective and choose a different emotional response, one that serves you better. For instance, if you're feeling anxious about a work presentation, it might be because you believe that you must perform perfectly in order to be respected. But is this really true? Likely, your colleagues value your effort and sincerity more than perfection. Recognizing this can alleviate some of your anxiety and help you approach the situation with more calmness and confidence. Practically speaking, journaling can be an incredibly effective tool for understanding your emotions. By writing down what you feel and exploring why you feel it, you can uncover patterns and triggers that you might not be aware of otherwise. This reflection not only helps in the moment but also builds a sort of emotional intelligence over time that can make you more resilient and adaptable. Another approach is to discuss your feelings with someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a mentor. Speaking about your emotions can provide new insights and perspectives that you might not have considered. It's often through dialogue that we come to new understandings about ourselves and our relationships. Embracing the Stoic approach to emotions isn't about suppressing what you feel. On the contrary, it's about engaging with your emotions in a proactive and reflective way. It's about taking control of the narrative of your inner life. By understanding your emotions, you're not just reacting to the world, you're actively shaping your experience of it. Here's a challenge for you. For the next week, each time you experience a strong emotion, take a moment to write down what triggered it and what beliefs might be underlying that reaction. You might be surprised by what you discover. Second minor call to action. If you're finding value in these Stoic insights, remember to hit that like button. It helps our channel grow and allows us to reach more people with these transformative ideas. And if you haven't already, now's the perfect time to subscribe. Join our community of modern Stoics and never miss an upload. Now, let's continue our exploration of Stoic wisdom. The value of patience. Let's now turn our attention to a virtue that's central to Stoic practice, patience. Stoicism teaches us the value of patience, not just as a way to endure, but as a method to transform our experiences. Patience, according to Stoic philosophy, isn't just about waiting, it's about how we behave while we wait. It's about maintaining our composure and dignity in the face of life's delays and challenges, understanding that these are often outside our control. In our daily lives, we encounter countless situations that can trigger impatience, from a slow-moving line at the grocery store to a traffic jam or a delayed response from a colleague. Our first instinct might be to feel irritated or stressed, but here's where Stoicism comes into play. It encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtue. Every instance of delay is a chance to exercise patience, to reinforce our ability to stay calm and collected. So how can we develop patience in practical terms? One effective approach is to adjust our expectations. Often our impatience stems from a mismatch between our expectations and reality. If we start by acknowledging that delays and obstacles are natural parts of life, we're less likely to get upset when they occur. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but rather aligning our expectations with the fact that the world won't always operate according to our preferences. Another key method is to use the moments of waiting as opportunities for growth and reflection. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming over the delay, you can turn it into valuable time. Listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or simply reflect on your day. This shift in perspective turns a frustrating situation into a productive or relaxing one. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful ally in developing patience. By being present in the moment and fully engaging with it, we can distance ourselves from the feelings of urgency and restlessness that often accompany waiting. Mindfulness helps us cultivate a peaceful state of mind that buffers us against the stirrings of impatience. Stoicism not only advocates for patience but also for understanding the impermanence of our current state. Remembering that this too shall pass can help us endure unpleasant situations. Whether it's waiting for a delayed flight or enduring a long recovery from an illness, the knowledge that it is temporary makes it more bearable. Finally, celebrating small victories is crucial in developing patience. When you manage to stay calm during a situation that would normally make you impatient, acknowledge and reward yourself for this achievement. This reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely to become a habit. Try this. Next time you're in a situation that tests your patience, instead of focusing on the wait, find one positive aspect of the moment to appreciate. It could be as simple as the chance to take a few deep breaths or observe your surroundings. The power of forgiveness. Now, let's explore a Stoic principle that has the power to transform our relationships and inner peace. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of those transformative experiences that not only changes the way we relate to others, but also profoundly affects our inner calm. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is not about condoning wrongdoings or forgetting the harm done. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden that comes from carrying grudges. Forgiveness requires a strong sense of self-awareness and control over one's emotions, qualities that Stoics strive to develop. It involves recognizing that our anger and hurt, while natural and valid responses to perceived injustices, are ultimately within our control. This doesn't mean that the process is simple or immediate. Forgiveness can be challenging. It often requires a deliberate, concerted effort to let go of deep-seated feelings of injustice. Consider the power that comes from deciding not to allow someone else's actions to disturb your inner tranquility. This is the essence of Stoic forgiveness. It's about making a conscious choice to not let past actions continually affect your present state of mind. This decision helps you reclaim your emotional energy and focus it on more constructive pursuits that align with your values and goals. Now, how do we start practicing forgiveness in everyday life? It begins with a recognition that all humans are fallible, ourselves included. We all make mistakes, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of malice. Reflecting on our own shortcomings can help us develop empathy towards others, making it easier to forgive. Another Stoic practice is to consider the bigger picture. Often, the things we hold on to are not as significant in the grand scheme of our lives. By focusing on our long-term well-being, which is bolstered by peace and harmony, the immediate sting of grievances can be mitigated. Practicing forgiveness also involves actively reframing our narratives. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim, which can perpetuate feelings of anger and helplessness, try to see yourself as a survivor or even a hero of your story. one who has overcome challenges and emerged stronger. This shift in perspective not only facilitates forgiveness, but also empowers you in your life's journey. Remember, forgiveness is a process, sometimes a lengthy one. It doesn't happen all at once, and that's perfectly okay. Each step towards forgiveness, no matter how small, is a step towards a freer, more emotionally balanced life. Here's a practice to try. Think of someone you're holding a grudge against. Spend a few minutes imagining their perspective, considering what factors might have led to their actions. This exercise in empathy can be the first step towards forgiveness. Developing self-control. As we near the end of our exploration of Stoic principles, let's discuss a cornerstone of Stoic practice: self-control. At its essence, self-control allows us to pause before reacting, giving us the time to consider whether our impulses align with our long-term goals. For instance, if you're trying to lead a healthier lifestyle, self-control is what helps you choose not to eat that late-night junk food. In emotional situations, self-control helps you hold back a harsh word or an angry reply, preserving relationships and maintaining peace of mind. How can we strengthen this essential skill? One effective Stoic practice is to regularly reflect on our actions and their consequences. This could be as simple as taking a few minutes each evening to think about the choices you made throughout the day. Were there moments when you lacked self-control? What triggered it? Understanding these patterns is the first step towards managing them. Another powerful technique is to set clear personal rules for behavior based on your values. Stoicism teaches us that living according to rational principles is key to a good life. By setting and following your own rules, for example, not checking your phone during meals or limiting time spent on social media, you exercise self-control in ways that directly improve your daily life and well-being. Visualization is another tool that can be incredibly helpful. Before entering a situation where you know you might be tempted to act impulsively, take a moment to visualize yourself handling the situation with calm and restraint. Imagine the satisfaction you'll feel from acting in accordance with your principles. This mental rehearsal can make it much easier to keep your cool in the heat of the moment. It's also beneficial to gradually increase your tolerance for discomfort, which is a big part of what self-control is all about. The Stoics believe that by voluntarily exposing ourselves to discomfort, whether it's cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, we can strengthen our willpower. These practices teach us that we can endure discomfort and that it's often not as bad as we fear. This realization directly feeds into our ability to exercise self-control in more complex emotional or social situations. Lastly, remember that practicing self-control is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you falter. That's just part of being human. What matters is that you recognize these moments, learn from them, and continue to strive for improvement. Each act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory in its own right, and a step towards becoming a wiser, more balanced person. Try this exercise. Choose one small habit you'd like to change. For the next week, every time you're about to engage in this habit, pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself if this aligns with your long-term goals. This simple pause can be the beginning of greater self-control. As we come to the end of our journey through Stoic wisdom, remember that every step towards mastering your emotions is a step towards a more peaceful life. The principles we've explored today, understanding anger, focusing on what we can control, practicing mindfulness, embracing impermanence, understanding our emotions, cultivating patience, practicing forgiveness, and developing self-control, are powerful tools for navigating life's challenges. These aren't just abstract concepts, they're practical strategies you can start implementing right. Thank you for watching. Remember, true wisdom lies not in accumulating knowledge, but in applying it to our daily lives. Stay resilient, cultivate virtue, and embrace what's within your control. Until next time, live with reason and purpose.